diamonds versus ace-6 from ace-6 something, all diamonds. Ace-6 puts the short stack all in, he sits there folding it.
So welcome back to Luton. Just to run you through who we've got on this feature table. Not lost anybody yet. We're just starting level 18 with blinds at 5,000, 10,000 and a running ante of 1,000. Kevin O'Hanlon, seat 1. Craig Dawson, seat 2. Terry Evans, seat 3. Dave Harvey, seat 4. John Murray, seat 5. Michael O'Malley, seat 6. Graham Cutler, seat 7. David Griffiths, seat 8. And Robert Battle, seat 9. Robert joined the table as our chip leader on this final table. So far, not a huge amount going on. David Griffiths has won a couple of hands. Craig Dawson's been all in once and got that one through. So this one's going to see John Murray and Robert see a flop of 6-4 king. And the bet from Robert gets through. And John folds. So John Murray raises it up, as only John Murray can. And everybody else folds, petrified, in fear of what potential 2 cards John Murray could actually be raising it up with. And it's quite a long list of potential cards. So the players' names are going along the bottom of the screen there, and you'll also see the starting stacks that they started the final table with. We'll try and update those as we go a little bit, but it's not going to be an accurate science, that's for sure, because we'd much rather talk to you about what's going on. So 9th place is guaranteed, so they're all guaranteed £195 here. Top prize is £2,140 plus a Destination Vegas package for next summer, where we're taking as many players as we can out to Vegas with us to celebrate our 10th anniversary. The package includes flights, accommodation, entry into a Colossus event, assuming those dates work out right. If not, it'll be something very similar. And probably quite a few nights out, I reckon, thrown in for good measure. So Robert's checked this. The flop is 8 King 4, and Craig has bet out 10,700. Top of your screen in the red, in the green T-shirt. And it's back round to Robert, who decides to fold, and Craig's going to take that down. So as I was saying, we're looking. Hopefully, we're going to have somewhere in the region of 40 to 50 players out with us in Vegas next year. Well, I mean, we're just on the seats that we're adding value to or guaranteeing this season is about 22, I think it is, plus a number of others, which hopefully will get one during the year, plus those that will just tag along because it sounds like a good week in Vegas, to be honest. Tom's still finalising where it is we're going to stay. He's been checking Vegas out for a few years now, so he's got a few ideas. I can just recommend one restaurant. I'm not even going to call it a restaurant not to go to. If Tom ever recommends at 3 o'clock in the morning to go and get breakfast somewhere, just decline politely. Yeah. An experience I will never ever forget. But yeah, went out for my first ever Vegas trip last summer, and it was absolutely incredible. And so can't wait to go again. Dave Harvey says, I am all in. And it's 2 5,000 chips. So we kind of know what's coming here. Craig raises all in from the big blind. So Kevin Hanlon's made up the small blind. Craig has shoved back over the top from the big blind. Very top of your screen. Kevin's asking for a count. Dave is currently looking at a potential triple up. If Kevin makes this call, though, it's going to be an absolutely massive side pot compared to the main pot. Dealer's just giving us a count. Jack's saying to me he thinks 106. We'll see. Let's see how close he is. Lucy thinks 184. Seriously, what you do? 108,500. I'm going 106,000 is the call. So Craig's got nice Jack, nice. So Craig's got Jack 7 and Dave has pocket 3s. So it's the pocket 3s at risk. Perfect. So it's the pocket 3s at risk then. Need to avoid a Jack or a 7. 7 on the flop. Not looking good for Dave Harvey, and we're going to lose Dave Harvey in 9th place. Excellent effort from Dave. He's going to pick himself up 195 quid for his trouble. Jack was spot on with the chip count of 106k. Very impressive. Very impressive indeed. And we're 8-handed. I'm going to go and have a quick word with Dave, because he's certainly one that doesn't mind having a chat, even though he's just bust a tournament, because he's good like that. So not a bad result for you. I forgot you even played poker.
I know, yeah, I haven't been playing a lot lately, but no, it's good. Good. I was 26 out of 27, so I've had a good day today. So make what, 9th?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, final table was good, and it's good quality, high standard. So lads either side, it's difficult, hard grind today, but went well.
So it's gone crazy since you've left the table. We've got all in the call. Yeah. So Graham's all in with ace 10, and he's been called by the ace queen of Robert. So it's ace 10 at risk here. And it's deuce 8-3. Another 3, split chopping opportunities, but it doesn't come, and we're going to lose Graham in. We're going to lose Graham in 8th place, picking up £215 for his trouble. And 2 very quick exits. Two pretty quick exits there. So next hand then is Terry in the small blind and John Murray in the big blind. Michael folds, as does David, as does Robert. Round to Kevin in the cutoff, and he's going to raise it up to 40,000. Blinds are 5,000, 10,000. Craig folds, Terry folds. John's now saying, Kevin, you always do this to me. John says, I'm all in, and Kevin says, I call. John's got ace king, and Kevin has pocket fives. It's the ace king at risk here, I think. Yep. John needs to find an ace or a king. 4, 8, 10 is not going to be any good for him. There's the ace on the turn. Needs to dodge a 5. 5 on the river. Kevin calls it, and it comes in. Wow. For those of you watching earlier, Kevin was on the end of a hand earlier on where it was jacks versus 10s versus 9s, and Kevin had the 9s, but he was the biggest stack in that hand, and he binked a 9 on the river, and it's come again for him. And we're going to lose. We lose John Murray in 7th place. I don't know what to say about that, John. That's pretty horrible.
No, it's just one of those things, isn't it? It was a race, so Kevin had a pair and I had 2 overcards. That's the way it goes.
You're taking that very, very well. I think I'd have thrown something by now.
No. That's the way it goes.
Well played, John. Another final table for you. It's absolutely superb. John has an amazing record of final tables and cashes at APAT events. And then there were 6 in very, very quick fashion. John Murray's getting a round of applause from the Vegas satellite table. There's about 9 or 10 of them on there still fighting out for a Vegas package, and they're high-fiving him and giving a round of applause. I'm not sure whether he's fully appreciative of that, but still. So Kevin's raised this up, and from the big blind, David's raised up to 26,000. Kevin's raised it up to 50. Oh, no, they're pinks, aren't they? So 125,000. David's gone all in, and Kevin's asked for a count. So the initial raise from David was to 26k. Kevin's raised it up to 125,000, and David has gone all in. Just getting a count. $248,800 is the count. He's already committed 125k, so it's about another 125 again.
Hard to fold. Yeah, he said 248.
So just clarification on the count, and it was actually about 290, and Kevin folds anyway. So decent stack for David. Don't forget those stack sizes you're seeing across the bottom, apart from where obviously a player's exited and we've got their finishing position, is their starting stack at the beginning of this final table. With chips flying about all over the place, it's difficult to keep it updated, but we will when we try and get down to 3 or 4 handed. We'll try and get you more accurate position. But it's David's very much been the aggressive player at this final table so far. Won the very first hand, bluffed off a couple off a pot later on, and has then again been very, very aggressive and getting Kevin off that hand. So Michael in the small blind and David in the big blind this time. And Robert folds, as does Kevin. And it's Craig reaching for chips, and he's gone all in. Craig top of your screen in the green.
Cool.
And Terry's gone all in as well. And Craig's made the move with 10-4 offsuit, and Terry's woken up with King-Queen. It's the... I think it could be Terry at risk here. I think so. I think it's the King-Queen at risk. Let's see the flop. And it's Jack, King 9. 8 gives options. But the 6 on the river... Terry has a bit of a sweat there, but gets it through. Just going to count. And Terry, top of your screen in the pink shirt, said that was a little bit, yeah. It's never easy, is it? Never easy. What was the count there, Jack? 11. 112 is the count. So, it's close enough. It's close enough. So, Craig has got some chips back, but mostly they're the small denominations now. So, I have a feeling he's going to be making some moves again very soon. So Terry's raised it up to 32,000. Just the big blind of Robert to get through. And he does. Robert's been very quiet at this final table so far. Came on the final table as chip leader. But it's been quite aggro so far. Quite aggro indeed. So Craig's under the gun, and there's the move. All in. And Terry folds, and Michael folds. David folds, as does Robert. And Kevin says he's going to call. And Kevin's got 8-9. And Craig has 3-2. It's the 3-2 at risk here. The 3-2's at risk. Craig's looking for a 3 or a 2. How about a 3 and a 2? Yeah, that'll do. But Kevin's got outs. And boats up. Now we got to count all of Craig's chips, work how many he's got. $12,000 is the call. Hmm? Craig lives to at least see his big blind, which is what he's on now. Kevin in the small blind. It's going to be Terry to act first. Terry, top of your screen in the pink shirt. It's whether Craig's got another fold in him or not. If somebody does raise his big blind here.
I don't think he can really. I wouldn't even look if I was him.
No, he's
That's why I'm out.
yeah. Well, he's got about 30k now, but with it's 3 bigs, and here comes the raise from Kevin. Oh, it's not even a raise; it's just a call. Actually, I think he's miscounted what many chips he was going to put in, so he's just made a call. So Craig says, let's see a flop then. In that case. Jack Queen 9 rainbow. I've still got a feeling the chips might be going in. Kevin just grabs 50,000's worth of chips and chucks them in. Craig's got 6 deuce. Kevin shows ace 9. I mean, it's the kind of right play from Kevin. To be honest, I think he meant to raise pre. It goes back to the question then again, Jack, does Craig ever fold in him with 6 deuce in that spot with what, 3 bigs?
That's probably why I'm out, because I'd be all in there. 6 deuce suited. I wouldn't have even looked. I would have just put.
Obviously, because he got to see a free flop, it's worth seeing, and then he could get away from it. So he lives to see his small blind now. Does Craig? It's going to be Michael to act first, and he folds. As does David, as does Robert. So we're round to Kevin. He folds as well. What's Craig doing here? He's flat calling. Terry says I'm all in. He says I call. Here we go then. Terry's got pocket kings, and Craig has live cards. 5-3. 5-3 is at risk here. Let's see a flop. Is Terry going to get a sweat this time? He's going to get a little bit of a sweat because there's a 3 on the but nothing on the turn. Needs to be a 5 or a 3. It's not there, and we're going to lose Craig in 6th place. Terry wins that. Finally, he was ducking in a, weaving in a, bobbing and a everything for a while, but not meant to be. Well, considering how long it took us to get through the cash bubble and then the kind of the final table bubble, this final table so far has absolutely flown by. We're down to 5. Top 3 pick up the coveted APAT medals. obviously top, gets to call themselves European Amateur Poker Champion for the year, and we'll see them in Vegas next summer. We've just roughly updated the chip counts at the bottom of your screen. Give you a rough idea where everyone is. It's reasonably even. Michael's probably the short stack at the moment, but the others are fairly even, with David Griffiths probably just ahead. Blinds are 5,000, 10,000 with a running ante of 1,000. And we got another 25 minutes of this level to go. So David in the small blind and Robert in the big blind. I will keep calling him Robert just in case his mum is tuned in to watch this FT. So it's action on Kevin in seat 1, and he's raising it to 40,000, which seems to be Kevin's standard opener here. Terry folds, as does Michael, as does David, as does Robert. And he gets that through. What's he showing this time? He shows Ace King this time.
Big slick.
Seems to really be hitting some cards here on the final table. Hope you just all enjoyed the back of Tom Brady's head there. It was, for those at home, special request. I know you all wanted it, so there it was for you. Irish Tom's best side. So we're going to see a flop, and it's 4-6-4, and it's blind on blind.
That's what I meant. It's a bit.
Oh yeah. So Robert's checked, and Kevin's made it 20,000. So Michael's folded, and it looks like David's going to make a bet, and he does, and it's to 27,000. Robert folds, so just the blinds to get through. Kevin in the small blind, but I have a feeling he's coming along. He is. Terry gets out of the way, so we're going to be two-handed to a flop. Kevin and David. It will be Kevin to act first. And it's deuce 9-8, and Kevin checks. $32,000 is the bet.
Hey everybody, this is Tristan just covering for Lee while he gets a few refreshments. I believe I've just joined the table and Michael Omani has a walk in the big blind. Must be nice. He did actually show a pair of threes, which is
Tristan, has it gone passive because I've given you the microphone? This is ridiculous.
the first walk of the day, Leo, I imagine, on that one. Right, okay guys, 5 and 10k with a 1k ante. Try to chatting there onto the rail, but Michael Money's shoved on in from the button. Derek's asked for a count. $113,800 is the number. Derek has reshoved from the small blind. Rob's going to have a look in the big. Okay, David has got ace 10 in the small blind. Mike's found jacks on the button. Right, let's see then, guys. Yep, jacks at risk. Flop is 5 of hearts, 2 of hearts, 9 of clubs, 5 of spades on the turn, 8 of spades on the river. That's a double up for Michael Money. Okay, so 113,000 Mike had pre, so it's a nice little double up to approximately 240,000. Okay, it's 5k, 10k. Terry's going to be under the gun. Terry's going to come in for an open to 30,000. Mike's going to fold. Dave is going to fold. Rob's going to fold. And Garen's going to fold. Okay, Mike's going to fold on the gun. So David. Rob's on the button. He's going to come in for a big open on the button, 46,000. Kevin's going to fold the small. Terry folds the big. Okay, guys, David's under the gun. It's going to come in for an open. 28,000 is the number. Rob's going to call. Kevin's going to fold. Terry folds a small. Just got Michael in the big blind who he's going to go all in. David's going to go all in. Rob's going to fold. Okay, Mike's going to need some help here. He's got nines, but he's got the boots for David. Okay, guys, flop is Jack of diamonds, 8 of hearts, 5 of spades, 2 hearts turn, 5 of clubs, so we lose Michael Armani, 5th spot. Congrats to Michael, he'll wins £475 for his 5th place. Okay then guys, apologies for today, but we're coming up, Kevin's open to 40,000 and takes down the pot. Okay, welcome back guys, we're down to 4 now. After losing Michael in 5th place. Okay then guys, Kevin's under the gun, he folds Terry's going to fold. David's in the small blind. He's going to call from the small blind. Rob's going to go to 40,000 in the big blind. Still on David in the small blind. Still contemplating the decision from Rob's raising the big. He's going to fold though. Rob's going to show him the ace of spades. Right, okay. We got Terry under the gun here. Looks like he's going to come in for an open. 42,000 is the number. Dave's going to fold button. Rob's going to fold small. Kevin's going to fold the big. Pair of sevens shown. Terry. Right, okay. Dave is going to be under the gun here. We're still playing 510k at the moment. He's going to fold. Rob's going to fold the button. Up to Kevin in the small blind. He's going to come in for an open. 40,000. Terry's going to fold the big blind. And Kevin's going to win that pot. Righto then, gents. Rob is under the gun. He's going to fold. Kevin's on the button. Looks like he's going to come in for an open. 35,000. Terry folds a small. Dave folds big. Right, okay guys, two folds there. We've got David in the small blind. He's going to call. Rob's going to check his option. We're going to see a board. Well, you got to say a flop even. Flop is 7 of diamonds, ace of hearts, 10 of hearts. Dave's going to check. Rob's going to bet 25k. David makes the call. We're going to see a turn. Okay, 5 of clubs on the turn. David checks small. Same bet from Rob, 25k. David's going to check raise this turn to 82,000. Rob's going to have a peek back. He's going to fold. Dave's going to take down that nice spot. Okay, ladies and gents, we've got a level up here. Now playing 6k, 12k with a 1k ante. Okay then guys, playing 6k, 12k, 1k ante. Terry's under the gun, he's going to fold. Dave's on the button. Going to come in for an open. 29,000 is the number. Rob's going to fold. Kevin's in the big blind. He's going to come in and 3-bet this. Okay, 3 bets at 87,000. David's going to fold. Kevin shows a nice pair of queens in the big blind there. Must be nice. Okay, guys. David is under the gun. He's going to fold. Rob's going to fold the button. To Kevin in the small blind. He's going to come in and raise it. 31,000 is the number. Terry's going to look and he's going to fold his hand, the 8-4. Kevin shows the ace of hearts. Okay, guys, 6-12, 1K Annie. Rob's going to fold. Kevin's going to fold the button. Terry's going to fold the small blind. Dave's going to get a walk in the big. Hey, Kevin's under the gun. He's going to fold. Cheers, man. Terry's going to open. To 38K. He's going to fold. Okay, guys, new hand. Terry's going to fold under the gun. Dave's going to fold the button. Rob's going to call from the small. Kevin's going to check the big. Flop is King of Clubs, 3 of Spades, 8 of Hearts. Rob's going to take a stab. 26. Kevin's going to fold. He'll take down the pot. So this guys, Kev's going to open the small blind, and Terry's going to fold the big. Okay guys, 6-0. Rob is under the gun. He's going to come in for an open. 36,000 is the number. Kevin's going to fold. Terry's going to fold from the small blind. Okay, he's going to defend the big. And we're going to see a flop. Okay, flop is Ace of Diamonds, Jack of Spades, 7 of Diamonds. Check from David. Rob's going to go all in on this. Okay, David's going to ask for a count. Got a decision here by the looks of things. Flop is Ace of Diamonds, Jack of Spades, 7 of Diamonds. He's asked for a count on Rob's show. He shows at 187,800. I'm reliably informed by our beautiful assistant. I won't mention Lucy's name because she's a bit shy, you see.
So this is a massive decision for David here. I feel like we're at the crucible.
It's only a game, son, so put up a real good fight. I'm going to be snippering you tonight.
So the board he's looking at is ace of diamonds, jack of spades, 7 of diamonds. And he's having a real massive think about this. We're 4 left. We're on the medal bubble. Made the call.
Feels like ace jack versus
Made the call. It's ace 9 for David against pocket queens. It's going to need to be a queen. And it's not there, and we're going to lose Rob in 4th place. Says David was saying so. He Robert put it in so quickly. He thought that if everyone's it's just going to go on a 5-minute break, and we'll be back to find out who we crown as champion. Right then, so quick photo opportunity with our three medalists. And whilst they just went on a quick 5-minute break, we've just been taking the hundreds off, so we can get this going, because blinds are 6,000, 12,000 with a 1,000 running ante. So 3 players we've got left: Kevin O'Hanlon in seat 1 with 305,000, Terry Evans in seat 3 with 252,000, and our chip leader with more than half the chips in play is David Griffiths in seat 8. One of these three is going to be crowned APAT European Amateur Poker Champion for 2016, and he's going to be joining us in Vegas next year. Let's find out who it's going to be. We'll get going, guys, because the clock did run a few minutes over. So whilst they're getting that up and running, let's get dealing. Let's get going. So first hand of this with 3 players left. It's David on the button, and he makes it 27,000 to go. And Kevin's going to call, so we're going to see a flop.
Here's the bonus prize.
So it's dead dealer button this time, which gives David another chance to open up the action. And this time he makes a call, and Kevin makes up the small blind, so it's option on Terry in the big blind, and he is going to check. So we're going to see a flop 3-way. And it's 9-3-4 with 2 clubs on the board. And 25,000 is the bet from Kevin, and it's good enough to get it through. So Terry takes that one down. And on we go. So it's Kevin in the small blind and Terry in the big blind, which means actions on David Griffiths first of all. And as is becoming a standard thing here, he's reaching for chips and makes it 36,000. That doesn't put Kevin off in the small blind. He makes the call, and Terry's going to get out of the way. So the board went ace 9 queen, and then check and a 2 on the turn, and Kevin has bet out this time. 45,000 is the bet. And David raises it back up to 112,000. Kevin says I'm all in, and David very quickly folds. So on we go. It'll be Kevin to act first here with Terry in the small blind and David in the big blind. And he passes and goes back to stacking up his chips. David says no shame in passing. Terry obliges. And David gets a walk. Well, we seem to have absolutely flown to the medalists on this final table. So there's plenty of play in there at the moment. Blinds are only 6,000, 12,000. So average stack is about 460,000, which is probably as high as it's been now. So that's about 40 big blinds. So we've absolutely flown through it. So there is plenty of play left in this three-handed. Although we've gone very quick to get to this stage. All players are still deep enough to afford to get a little bit busy and still let it go if necessary. So it's a raise from Terry to 105,000, and Kevin's back in over the top. Kevin's really taking the aggressive angle here at this final table of 3 now. Takes Terry off another pot, and Terry's raise there was about 55,000, so Kevin keeps adding to his stack. So David raises it up, 30,000, and fold from both the others. So Terry's raised from the small blind, and David says, "I'm all in." From the big blind, you saw the action there. Beautiful. How does that big blind shove action go again, David? Yeah, there we go. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. It's power poker. It's power poker. That's 2 hands in a row where Terry's got bullied. Well, not bullied a little bit, but just powered off a hand. It's good. It's good play from David. To be honest, it's also good play from Terry, trying to get some action going on a small blind. You don't just want to let the big stack have a walk. You've got to actually start playing some hands. There's no point sitting there waiting. The way the prize pool goes with the added value here, third place is they're guaranteed £910, and it goes 1,395, then 2,140 plus the 1,500 added value. So really, it's quite top heavy in the way of a prize pool. The first place prize added value is greater than the second place cash. So you've got to be going for the win here. You really have. And we're going to see a flop. That is 8, 9, 7. And David's betting out again, and Kevin folds. As Kevin said, if it hadn't been the big blind, he wouldn't have played him. Trouble is that can get you into a lot of trouble at times. But on we go. So Kevin's folded on the button, and Terry says, "I'm all in from the small blind." Maybe he's learned a lesson there from the last time it went there. David's asking for a count. David at the far end of the table there. $177,000 is the call from the dealer. So it's another 165,000 for David to make the call. He says he calls. It's pocket 8 for Terry, and he's up against the ace 6 for David. 8's at risk. 8 is the first card out. That's pretty much going to do it. And it does. And it's a full double up for Terry. Rough chip counts are at the bottom of your screen, and you can also see those that have exited this final table. Started here with 9 at 6:30, and absolutely lost players very, very quickly. But now, as I was saying, we're down to 3, and there's plenty of play there. But that's very much got Terry back into the game. So Terry's folded on the button, and David's raised to 31,000, which Kevin very quickly calls. So we're going to see a flop, and it's King 4-8, 2 spades. Actions on David. He bets 40,000. Kevin shoves all in, or certainly grabs the biggest of his chips. I didn't hear a call of all in, but it's certainly enough of a statement. It's not an all in call, but he's just put his biggest chips across the line, which is 260,000. And David looks in a little bit of pain here.
You can't possibly have 2 pair. You must have a set. There's nothing else you can have. Oh dear. 251. 260.
That was just a king. I don't think you would. Oh dear, wow. You must have a set of 8s or a set of 4s, you must have. Oh dear.
So clock's just been called. David's still got decision to make. Actions with him. He raised to 40,000, and Kevin's re-raised to 260,000. Decision is on David.
I'm gonna fall. Send me a set of 8s or something. Go on.
What did you show?
Nothing. Which means I was correct. I think you got 7 deuces that turned over and changed the action.
Sorry, Dad. I have to go down.
So David makes the fold. Convinced himself that Kevin must have had a set. Whether Kevin will tell us at the end of the tournament, we'll find out. David said he had a big king. Very difficult spot. As David was saying, I don't think he's seen Kevin bluff all day.
I never saw that either.
So Kevin's just said he had 2 pair. But anyway, it's action on David.
It was a good tilt fold. You got yourself into trouble.
David decided to tilt fold that one, and would have walked into the pocket tens of Terry down the far end. And on we go, still 3-handed.
I made you feel better now, like.
So our live Vegas satellite is still going on. We've got 6 players remaining, all battling out for a £1,500 Destination Vegas package for next summer. And we've got 3 players left on this feature table here, battling it out for the same. Theirs is added value. So this is going to be the last hand at this level, and then blinds are going to be up to 8,000, 16,000 with a running ante of 2,000. Raise from Terry, and gets it through. David folds. So David on the button, he's first to act with the blinds now at 8,000, 16,000. He lets those go. Just the blinds then. Kevin in small, Terry in the big, and it's a walk for Terry, and he shows 10-6. And on we go. On we go. Don't forget you can read all the updates on the forum. Just go to apat.com/forum. Go and look for the live update section. You'll find everything that Tom and Lucy have been putting out there for the whole weekend. All the photos, all the different hand details and exits as they've gone. And also you can check out the photos on the Facebook page. Tom's been putting them up over the past few days. Where you can always watch this live stream as well. So it's Kevin O'Hanlon versus Terry Evans versus David Griffiths. I was going to say it's effectively two Welshmen versus an Irishman, isn't it? Really, but I'm assuming. But what we actually have here is a Welshman, an Englishman, and an Irishman at the final three of the European Championships, and no Scottish being here is just about right, really. That's yeah. That's just about right. So David raises up to 34,000, and it's 4-3 is what Kevin shows this time. So David folds on the button, which means Kevin in the small blind.
There's the slow roll, Katie. Slow rolls me all the time. That's my mate.
Yeah. That's just to put you in your front then.
I got a deuce as well.
Terry gets another walk. This has been very, very passive the past 2 or 3 orbits now. Not a huge amount going on. So it's Kevin's button this time, so he'll be first to act. And he folds. I think Terry's going to be reaching for chips this time. There's been far too much walks going on here. And Terry raises it up, and David folds. So Terry on the button this time. He will be first to act. So Kevin's raised it up. And on a flop of Queen 10-3, Terry says I'm all in. Kevin's asking for a count. So Kevin had raised it as bet out 80,000 there, and Terry's gone all in over the top. So he's asked for a count. That's the flop. Queen 10-3. $366 was the count. Kevin very quickly folded, and Terry shows Queen Jack for top pair. So raise from Kevin, asked the question, got a very strong answer. So the button's on David. Blinds at 8,000, 16,000 with a running ante of 2,000. And with 3 players left, average stack is about 460,000. Terry gets a walk and shows ace 10. And on we go. So the buttons with Terry. And Kev's got a call. Hello? Hello? Give him the link to the stream, Kev. Give him the link to the stream, yeah? So the board's 5, ace, 5. And it's gone check, check. So we're going to see a 7. And that's going to have David reaching for some chips. And he makes it 17,000. And Kevin very quickly folds. So it's David's button this time round. He'll be first to act. He makes it 37,000. And David takes that one down as well. It's not 9 o'clock. Hello to Terry's mum, who's apparently watching at home. Your boy's doing all right. He's doing all right. Still in there. Guaranteed himself a medal. Guaranteed himself some cash, but I think he's quite eyeing up a trip to Vegas next summer. Raise from David, and Kevin is reaching for the big chips again, shoves them in, and David very quickly folds. So we got Terry's mum who's watching at home, Kevin's daughter who's phoning him to find out how he's getting on. David, anyone you want to say hello to, or yeah? Okay, if anybody knows David's mum, don't tell her what he's doing at the moment. Yeah, apparently it wouldn't go down well. So.
Tell both my sons they might get a steak out of it.
Oh, Terry said to both his sons they might get a bit of a steak out. Terry, if you're giving away steaks, I mean, we're all Lucy, fancy, yeah, we're all Team Terry over here. Yeah, we're definitely here. Hello to Terry's sons then, if they're watching as well. No bias from me, but I'd never be prouder than to see a Welshman take this down. Yeah. The raise from Kev is enough to get that one through. And he shows Ace Queen. Rob's wife is watching. Wow, hello to Rob's wife. Rob is railing Terry really as better than I think I've seen anybody rail a mate in a poker final table. He's just bringing him drinks whenever he needs it. He's just there. It's just like his shadow, making sure he doesn't put a foot out of step. And Terry takes that one down as well. Still quite a bit of play in this. Blinds 8,000, 16,000 with a running ante of 2,000. As I say, average stack is still just over 450,000. It was actually 460,000 to be exact, but I didn't want to, kind of throw the air. But smart ass, basically. But yeah. Done. Oh well, that's me. Sorry. So still 30 big blinds. So the raise from Terry in the small blind. And that one gets through as well. This is starting to become a bit of a regular occurrence. The momentum seems to be with Terry at the moment. He's putting his foot down. And looks like he's got a few more gears to work through, which is what you need to do at this point in the tournament. If you want to win this thing, you can't sit and wait for cards. You've got to make it happen, whether you get them or not. The difficulty for your opponents is knowing when you're at it and when you're not. He lets that one go on the button. Again, would be very easy when you've got momentum and things are going and you're scooping chips up to just keep raising and raising and raising. So very well played by Terry there just to know when to hold off. Let that one go and wait for a better spot. Next hand is going to see David on the button. Kevin in small blind, Terry in the big. I don't really think I've seen David fold many of his buttons. He's the only one that could hear that, so he gives me a little chuckle. Needs to get that momentum back though. If anyone can, David can. Been a regular supporter of APAT events over the years. And a serial casher throughout the Midlands. $37,000 is the raise. Kevin folds. Terry in the big blind down the far end. Top right of your screen as you're looking. And he's raised it up to 96,000. So 37,000 was the original bet from David, and David lets that go, and Terry is going to scoop up another pot there. Roughly adding about another 50,000 to his stack. On we go. Kevin on the button this time, first to act, and it'll be Terry in the small blind, David in the big. And Kevin makes it 40,000 to go. Terry folds from the small blind. Let's see what David's going to do in the big blind this time. And he says, I'm all in. Kevin says, I call. I think that was a call. It was a call. David's flipping over Queen Jack of clubs. And Kevin's got Ace 9 offsuit. It's going to be, hard to say on a call. I think it could be Kevin's life on the line here. It's the Ace 9 at stake. 9 Jack 5 puts David ahead. 6 on the turn. It's going to need to be a 9 or an ace. And a 4 means David's going to take the pot. We're going to need to get a count to find out where we're at. I'm pretty sure David's going to have Kevin covered here, but we'll just need to do a count. $352,500. 382.5 is the count. So we're just counting up Kevin's stack to see where he is. I don't think there's going to be a million miles in it, one way or the other.
You had the ace, did you?
No, I did Jack Queen. Jack Queen won.
Ah, right, okay. You know, I see an ace on the board that's not there. Oh, yeah, it's not right.
382.
Yeah. Yes. So 365 was the count on Kevin. So we're going to lose Kevin in third place. Just checking both players want a quick 5-minute break before we start the heads up. Yeah, that's okay. So we're going to do that as well. Well played to Kevin. So my quick calculations says that they are that's pretty even on chips now. So players are just taking a quick 5 minutes. Don't go away, because we are going to crown either Terry Evans or David Griffiths European Amateur Poker Champion for this year. So we've got 2 players back, which is always a good start when you want to play heads up. For those of you that have never seen a heads up before, we drop the antes now. It makes life a little bit easier for the guys. Rough stack. David has about 740,000 and Terry has 640,000. So absolutely nothing in it. Blinds are 8,000, 16,000. Both these guys are guaranteed £1,395. One of them's going to walk away with the £2,140 and the Vegas package. Best of luck to you both. As I say, let's do this. David's quite pleased. David says, normally I'm out before the antes even start. The fact that I'm actually still in when they've now stopped again is pretty good stuff. $38,000 is the raise from Terry, and it's going to get called by David. So we're going to see a flop. And it's Queen, King, 9. And David checks. And Terry reaches for chips, and David very quickly flips those into the muck. And on we go to hand number 2. Lucy's right up close to the action here now, so she pretty much will blog hand for hand every single detail of this heads up. You won't miss a thing by catching Lucy's blog. I think that might got caught on camera, Luce. Can't repeat what Lucy did. That's just outrageous. Outrageous. There's me paying her a compliment. And David wins that one. That's 1 each. 1 apiece. Nothing between them. So we've just got 3 minutes left of this level. And then the blinds are going to be 10,000, 20,000. So Terry's raised it up to 43,000. And it's a call from David. So we're going to see another flop. And it's 4-3-9, 2 clubs, goes check, check. So King of Hearts on the turn. And David bets out 30,000. That's a pretty quick call from Terry over there. We're going to see a river. And the final card is the 7 of Hearts. Action back on David. And he bets out 61,000. And a little bit of a think there from Terry, and he folds. And David scoops that one. The biggest pot of the heads up so far. As I say, they started this heads up with just 100,000 between them, with just shy of 1.4 million in play. Absolutely nothing to split them. We're 3-handed in our Destination Vegas live satellite. Joe, Chris and Debbie all fighting it out for another Vegas package. Huge amounts of value on offer here from APAT and Grosvenor this afternoon. And it's a raise from David, and Terry folds. So it's a raise from Terry to 38,000, and that one gets through. I think David's messaging somebody at home on the stream. It's about a 30-second delay, I think there is. So David takes that one down. And I can hear an all in the call over on the Vegas satellite. I think we've just lost Debbie Kim in third place. Oh no, she sat back down again. Maybe not. Maybe it was a double up. So it's a raise from Terry on this final table. He's raised it up to 38,000. And it's a call from David, so we're going to see another of those flops. 3 cards to come. Here they are. King, Ace, 3. 2 clubs. Check from David, but Terry's reaching for chips there, and he's made it 60,000. So David's having to think about this. He had another quick look at his cards, and he's now counting out, and he's made the call. So we're going to see a turn, which is the Jack of Spades. It's another check from David, and it's a check from Terry. So we're going to see a river card, which is the 9 of clubs. It's a check from David again, and Terry checks it down. Terry says king. David says ace. King 7 for Terry. Ace 4 for David, and the ace is going to be good. And David will scoop that pot. Definitely the biggest one of the final so far. Total pot there about 180,000. So next hand. David in the small blind. Action on him. And he raises it to 38,000. And Terry makes the call. So we're going to see another flop. And it's Queen 3 9, 2 diamonds. It looks like that's going to get Terry reaching for some chips, and he does. 70,000 is the bet, and David very quickly folds. So blinds are up, guys. 10,000, 20,000. So Terry's made it 60,000. With blinds now at 10,000, 20,000. And David in the big blind has a decision to make, and he folds. On we go. David in the small blind this time. And he makes it 50,000 to go. And a very quick call from Terry. We're going to see a follow-up. And it's 3, 6, 7, 2 diamonds. It goes check, check. And a deuce of diamonds. Terry checks, as does David. So 6 of spades on the river. Jack 3 for Terry is good. David declared king high. So next hand. David in the small blind and Terry in the big blind. Which means the action is on David. And he's reaching for some chips, and he makes it 50,000. Seems to be the standard raise. Terry's reaching for a decent stack of the 10k chips. I think he's going to re-raise. He certainly is. $120,000 is the raise. And David lets that go. So on we go. And a walk for David. So raise from David to 50,000, and Terry has done another one of those 120,000 re-raises, and David lets it go. Momentum certainly feels like it's swinging towards Terry here. David won the first early skirmishes, but that's very much Terry winning back some of the momentum and, more importantly, the chips. So they've seen a flop of 7 king queen all hearts. Love is in the air, but not between these two. Terry bets out 20,000 and wins that one. Now you. David folds and Terry wins that one. And we're just going to have a change of dealer on our feature table. Thank you very much, dealer, and welcome to the new one. So blinds are still 10,000, 20,000. No more antes because we're heads up. So it's a raise from Terry to 60,000. And David folds. Heads up play is very much all about momentum. I think we've got an all in and a call over on the Vegas satellite. It is heads up over there. Chris against Joe. But they're sitting back down, so someone's got to double up. On we go here. As I was saying, heads up play very much all about momentum. Applying pressure onto your opponent. Trying to make it difficult for them to play back at you. And very much picking your spots. So we've got a winner in the Vegas package. It's Chris Alexander. Has beaten Joe heads up. So he's going to head over to rail his buddy Terry on this final table now. Terry's just heard the news and just getting up to wish him congratulations. Very well done to Chris. I might go and have a quick word with Chris whilst this heads up is going on. Head across, have a quick word with Chris. Vegas then, Chris, how about that?
Yeah, well, you know, I was a bit lucky on the final table. I had some good hands, very good hands. No complaints.
So now railing your buddy Terry
I'm gonna rail my
here.
friend now. I just, honestly, I'm gonna get on my hands and knees and pray to God he wins, man, because it'll be great. I'll have something to go to Vegas with.
Excellent stuff.
Probably know I haven't got any friends. Other than Teddy, so.
Excellent. Well, the two of them are seeing a flop here of 6, Queen, 8. And David's making a bet out, and Terry says it's good enough. So Chris is now railing Terry to be his Vegas buddy. And David says, I'm trying to spoil the party. Yeah.
At least you know now that Chris can take Terry with him. Yeah, sweet.
Excellent. So that £1,500 package that Chris just won cost him 40 quid in satellites live. Seriously, guys, turn up to APAT live events this year. You are not going to get better value to get yourself to Vegas. Next stop for us in the UK is Cardiff in September, where I've got a feeling we might see a few of these guys. Oh, Chris is saying he can't go, so. So we're going to see a flop here of deuce 9 10. Terry checks it and David bets it out 30,000. Very quick call from Terry. So we're going to see a turn, and the turn is the 5 of hearts. Another check from Terry, very quick check from David behind. So we're going to see a river card, which is the ace of hearts, and that's got Terry reaching for chips. And Terry bets it out. So we're going to see another flop. And it's 6 ace 6. So Terry raised it up to 60,000 and David's made the call. The flop is 6 ace 6. And Terry is No, 90,000. Terry continues for 90,000. David folds. And post. That last piece of commentary was brought to you in association with Lucy Amos, blog updating. It's very good. To be honest, I've not got the the pre-flop betting, so I'm glad you've written it down.
I see the way she's moved into the spotlight.
So 60,000 is the bet from David.
That would be 50.
As I said, 50,000 is the bet from David. And it's called by Terry. So we're going to see another flop. We're starting to see a few flops now, which is all good. And it's 3-8-6. 2 clubs. And Terry bets out 60,000. And David very quickly calls. Going to see a turn. And it's the ace of spades. It's a check from Terry. And it's a check from David. So we're going to see a river. And it's the 10 of clubs for the third club. Check from Terry. David bets out 51,000. Nonchalantly flipping two 25k and two 500 chips into the middle of the pot. Terry looks across the table. Looks down at the flop. Gently rippling his remaining 25k chips in his left hand as he makes the call. David said, I've got an ace with a 7. An ace with a 7 is good. As Terry runs his hand through his hair and gives a little shrug of the shoulders. And David says, chips to me, please, chips to me. Terry looks pained by that one, I must admit. I've got a feeling that he was possibly ahead on the flop and now regretting not making more of that. David got there with his ace, and he's the one stacking chips. And on we go. So David makes it 50,000. Terry takes a quick sip of water before looking down at his cards. It's 30,000 to call, but he says raise. He said raise. He's counting out chips. He's still grabbing some more 10k chips, and in they go. Falling on the table like a tsunami of poker chips. $120k is the raise. It's another 70,000 for David to make the call. David folds. Wow, so Terry's just called. David grabs a stack of 10k chips and throws them in the middle, making the dealer have to count them out. Shocking behaviour, really. 90,000 is the bet. And Terry says no. Terry started that hand by saying, "Oh, okay, let's see a flop." I think that was David's cue to say, "No, not on the cheap, you're not."
Can I just say yesterday, she never done me winning numbers. She's still one of my favourite dealers ever.
So David's resorted to complimenting the dealer. Yeah, yeah. A slight backhanded compliment in. Never dealt me a winning hand yesterday, but still only one of your most favourite dealers, David.
If I win this, trust me, she'll be my favourite.
Yeah. Ow. Does she know you take? Does she know you take photos of her? Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah. Oh, right, okay. Oh. There are words for that. Yeah. David raises it up to 50,000, and Terry very quickly chucks 3 more 10k chips in the middle. So we're going to see a flop. How exciting! Here we go. It's Ace Deuce King. Goes check check. There's 2 diamonds out there. Another ace. Gives us 2 aces as well now as 2 diamonds. Doesn't get much more exciting than this. They've gone check check. And it's a jack on the river. That has got to be it. That is the killer card if ever I saw it. One of these 2 is about to burst into action. It's going to be Terry. He's going for chips. 40,000 is the bet from Terry. What's David got to offer? He's reaching for 25k chips. And plus some 10k's on top of that. It's a monster raise. 150,000 total is the raise from David. It's back over to Terry. I did call it that jack on the river was going to be the action card. Terry is having a long, hard think about this. says, is he trapping me with an ace? That's the board, folks. Ace, deuce, king, ace, jack. They both checked the flop of the turn, and on the river, Terry down the far end there bet out 40,000, and David there in the black top made it 150,000 to go. It's currently about 20% of the chips in play in the middle here. I think whoever wins this is going to push the momentum in their favour. The action is with that man. There. It's another 110,000 for him to make the call. It's about 290. David's asked for the clock. Terry's been pondering now for not that long, maybe one and a half minutes, maybe 2 minutes.
Has it been long enough? Okay, so you've got a minute to act. I'll let you know when you've got 10 seconds left.
So the tournament director's been called, and Terry has a minute to act, and will be notified when he has 10 seconds left. He's making a call. He's making a call. And he shows, David shows King Queen. And Terry shows a jack. You can see why he had a dilemma there. Thought he might be being trapped with an ace. So, as he said, had it right in his head. But managed to convince himself that he thought his jack was going to be good. On we go. David in the small blind, Terry in the big blind. So it's raised to 50,000, and Terry says, I'm all in. David has an opportunity to try and end it there. Terry just said that was your chance to win it. been a really good heads up so far. Chips have swung both ways, and it's still anybody's really. I think David's just got the David's got the chip lead now. I would suggest he's probably got about 900,000 to Terry's 500,000.
Things are going well.
Par game. Par crack.
So we're just going to.
Why aren't you charging?
Why aren't you charging? Did you push the little flicky light button to make it work? Yeah, on both of my PowerPoints there is. Yeah, it's because they're both. Yeah, there you go. You're good. No, they are power breaker ones. So I just to case all the equipment. and Jack is the flop. And Terry bets out 70,000. $70K is enough for Terry, and he takes that down. Actions with David as the small blind, and he's reaching for some 10K chips and makes it 50,000 to go. Terry very quickly folds. So Terry's raised it up. And it's a raise to 210 from David, and that gets through. Pre-flop action. Monster stuff. If you can all, we're gonna have a vote. Do you want Jack set next to the table or not? You can all vote in. Yeah, 4 on the 4 on the river. So it's Queen 3 7 5 4, and Terry makes it 80,000. Decision on David. 80,000 is the bet. He is reaching for a stack of 25k chips, but he's just counting, he says. We're sat right next to him this end of the table. Partly only because I've known David for years and I know he won't mind listening to me rattling on. So yeah.
And the rest of us didn't get that option.
No, you don't. No, no. The hired help. Don't get that option. because you're one and the same with me when it comes to that.
Oh, we're on the same level.
Absolutely. So that's the flop we're looking at. It's Queen 3 7 5 4, and he's made the call. And Terry says 2 pair. Queen 4, and that's good enough. And Terry takes down that pot, monster pot. Big pot. David gave a little shake of the head. Rob still railing Terry. So it's a raise from Terry to 60,000. Action on David. We're all pre-flop at the moment. David says I'm all in. Terry says I call, so we're going to see cards on the backs. So Terry has got ace queen, and it's pocket sevens for David. 7 first card out. It's 6, 8, 7, 9. There's chop options here. 5 or a 10 for a chop. And it's a queen. And the sevens are good. We're going to need to count up here and see where we're at. Going to get a count up here now. If you get to 700, it's good. It's good. 700 is good. Are you happy with that, Terry? Terry's happy with that as well, so that's over. Well done, guys. We have a winner. We have a winner. That's for sure. I'm going to see if I can have a quick word with David, because it's been many an APATs for you, and finally, my friend, finally.
I think the last time I were on this well was about 1987. So, and I've been playing. Funnily enough, this year I started playing poker in 1976. So it's 40 years, and I've probably won 200 or 300 tournaments. The first time I've ever won one with a trophy. So I'm really chuffed, really pleased.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been a great final table. You always seem to. I always felt you were in control.
When I got the aces, because I'd been raising quite a lot, and then when I got the aces and raised, the guy shoved all in with the nines, and I won that pot. I thought I'm gonna crush this now, because we very quickly went down to 5, and I thought I'm really gonna win this quite quickly. But then it sort of went a bit wrong, and I went from like 800. I had half the chips on the table, and there were like 5 left. I got half the chips, and before I know what had happened, I've donked half of them off. I'm down to 400k. So I was sort of kicking myself, thinking, what on earth have you done? You've got all them chips, and you've just played like an idiot. So I was like really annoyed with myself. But then when we got down to 3, I sort of like regrouped, and I thought, well, we're sort of even chips now, and I fancied my chances, to be honest. So I'll play in a home game, and we play like it's like a one-table sit and go, and we play so regularly. But because of that, we get down to like 3-handed and 2-handed a lot. So I play probably more short stack poker than probably most players. So I really fancy my chance. We got down to 3, so I'm really chuffed. But I mean, to win the package, I mean, God.
Yeah. So I say Vegas next summer.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Been before?
Once, yeah, but 2003, a long time ago. So yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Yeah.
And of course, obviously, European Amateur Poker Champion for 2016. How does that sound?
Yeah, well, I guess I'll have to put that on my Facebook, and at the very least, won't I? So, yeah, I'm chuffed, really chuffed. I know there's a lot of people back in Coventry Casino, which I play regularly, who've posted on Facebook and are rooting for me, so I'm really pleased to sort of bring it home. So dead chuffed, really, really pleased. Thanks.
Well, many congratulations, David. Fantastic. That's it. So that's us done from Luton. Next stop for us in the UK is going to be Cardiff in September. But obviously there's an APAT event over in Belgium before then. Hope you've all enjoyed the stream. You can catch it all again on YouTube if you need to. And whilst David gets some photos and we sort of the photos, we'll say we're wrapping up here from Luton. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll catch you all at the next event soon.